Hi, it's Dan from UK Moneyman, and just here to talk to you today about getting a mortgage when you're older. A lot of people say, well, what's the oldest I can be to actually take out a mortgage? Now, a lot of the conventional high street lenders, your Halifaxes and people like that, they have a maximum age at application that may be 70, 75, sometimes up to 80. But there are lots of lenders out there who aren't as concerned about age. They're more in the mindset of looking at secure pension income, maybe benefit income, incomes that aren't likely to change. Now they can take those into account just like your mortgage lender took your PAYE job income into account in the past. What we feel is really important is to look at your current situation, either as an individual or as a couple, depending on how you're borrowing, and to look at how the mortgage fits you for the likely rest of its term. There's nothing to stop you in theory taking a mortgage out at 80 and having it as a repayment mortgage for 15 years. But particularly if you're borrowing as part of a couple, we need to have a look and say, okay, well that's fine when you've got a couple's income, but what happens if one of you is left on your own? So we look to put in place contingencies to deal with that if that happens. But what I say to people is that when they're borrowing at a later age, 70s plus, we need to know the story and we need to know how you think that story is going to end. So it's really important that you get in touch with an advisor that you feel that you can trust, feel that you can talk to about these details. You need to be able to talk about what happens when you die, what happens when your partner dies, because without actually facing those situations at the start of the process, it's possible that you could receive advice that may not be as appropriate to your needs going forward as it could be. We need to be able to talk about those things with you in order to be able to get something that fits you now, but also has we've got a contingency plan of maybe what to do later on when things change.